getting cold.
So,
Yeah, we couldn't keep the lights on anymore. The heat was down. We finally got some gas. We paid the gas bills.
So,
okay, I think we're ready, right? I mean,
are we?
Are we ready?
So, how do
Okay.
I look at the camera? Look at Vasco, like, what?
no, you just
No?
stand there and then
Okay.
we'll record here. Okay.
And I'll just look passively into the horizon.
Hey!
Cut.
But should we just do the...
The funny.
Yeah, let's talk about the
No,
money.
no,
The money about the bit.
Yeah, so we could just get started with the
Bit
introduction
about
and then go on
Yeah.
to the questions of the... So, Enbabel just raised $23 million.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that? How was raising the Series B?
Yeah, I mean, it was in some ways a little bit unexpected. So we started out we were approached by investors in the summer of 2017, and we weren't thinking really of fundraising until this year, not 2017, so summer of this year. But we were having such a high growth that there was a lot of incentive and kind of aggressiveness in a good way from investors to say, hey, why don't you raise capital and go faster? And we really, at that point, it got us thinking, kind of lit a fire in our ass, and like, okay, actually, if we had capital now, we could actually go faster, we can deploy that capital. So we started having the first conversation in October, and by November we had term sheets, and we decided to go with Scale as lead investor for our round. You know, they're an amazing investor for SaaS, especially B2B SaaS. And then there's current investors, so Notion, Double Down, and a few others. And then it was interesting because at that point also we got interest from a bunch of strategics. And so the other investors in the round, besides current investors in Notion, is Microsoft, Salesforce, and Samsung. They fundamentally believe that what we're doing has an enormous disruptive power, and it can help not just them, but companies overall to really be able to be global in a much sooner and much more seamless way.
And so what's next for Enbabel regarding the AI side of the business?
There's not one piece, right? So there's multiple pieces that we're developing. I think one of the things that has the most impact potentially is quality estimation. So we're going to continue to evolve our AI infrastructure, ranging from machine translation to quality estimation to the tools of the translators to smart check technology to a bunch of other stuff. I think that's going to have a more increasingly relevant role in kind of everything that we do. And then the other part is that plus global expansion. So we've had a footprint, but a fairly small footprint in the US. I think it's time for us to step up our game there. And then kind of there's a whole world out there, like Asia has a huge problem with language. And I think that we can really help there.
And what about your long-term vision for Enbabel?
Yeah, so there's a long-term vision, right? It's meaning that I think that we're still very much in the beginning of how the world's going to look like, how the Enbabel world's going to look like in a few years. It's not even very clear what's going to be the reach of artificial intelligence yet. There's this worldwide effort towards increasingly more sophisticated AI, and we're very much in the forefront of that effort. And we think that that's going to continue. Long term, I see Enbabel as a truly global company with a presence in most places in the world, and creating a future where any company can actually be global from day one. So right now, we're still very much in a moment in history where you typically start within a specific market. It takes you years to really cross borders and to really start thinking about international. But yet, for a normal company product, it's a schlep, right? So how do we unlock that much earlier and increase the global GDP, right? How do we enable those services to be available for people much earlier on? I think that in turn will equalize a lot of, or give opportunities to people that don't have them now, both in their ability to work, but also their access to the services, which include, information and a bunch of other things that then change their lives. I think that's fundamentally the vision.
Nice talking to you, Vasco.
Thank you, Maria.
Thanks for making the time. It was
Yeah,
very
my
difficult to
pleasure.
schedule these 5 minutes.
Yeah, man, so if you were lucky that you actually put some heat here, this way I was like drawn to it. Like them all.
Okay, so bye everyone who's
Bye.
possibly watching.